Produced and distributed by New Line Cinema in 1995 was that of Mortal Kombat. The plot of the film had it that the Mortal Kombat tournament was held once a generation on that the best fighters representing Earth and Outworld would fight against one another in a tournament conceived by the old gods. If the Outworlder forces were able to obtain 10 consecutive victories, then their forces would be allowed to invade Earth, as their forces have already won 9 tournaments by the 10th attempt in 1995. Raiden, the leader of the Earth-based forces, summons Monk, Liu Kang, action film star Johnny Cage, and soldier Sonya Blade as the individuals to act as the Earth's forces to stop Outworld from obtaining the 10th victory. Princess Kitana, daughter of Emperor Shao Kahn, also seeks to help the Earth-based forces as through events in the film. Shang Tsung leads the Outworld forces, and Liu, Johnny, and Sonya all fight against a possessed Scorpion on Sub-Zero, Goro on Reptile, as well as other threats, before Liu Kang battles Shang Tsung for the fate of the world and emerges victorious. The origins of the film had it that when the original Mortal Kombat game was released in 1992, it caused a national sensation in the United States due to the themes presented in the game, but studios were also considering a film adaptation of it to take advantage of its popularity within the country at the time. It's now known that one of the reasons why the film emerged in the final version that people now know it for, it was due mostly to the creative visions of director Paul W.S. Anderson due to the circumstances of the video games not having a lot of depth within the stories of the time. The game's lore and details could easily be adjusted or even modified for the film's release. The lack of extreme violence as depicted within the game, when in comparison to the movie, was one of the main focuses of complaints from gamers. Considering the details of the time, reactions to the characters being adapted for the game were neutral, with some being acceptive of the actors and actresses to play the characters, and others having the opinions that potentially better choices could have been done for the miscellaneous roles that were depicted within the film. An interesting fact was that Trevor Goddard, the actor who played Kano in the film, received a good amount of praise, so much so that the game developers based Kano's appearance on the portrayal from the film for future installments. Due to Trevor Goddard's accent being mistaken for an Australian background, Kano was later reimagined based on the film's portrayal-based details. Christopher Lambert as Raiden and Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa as Shang Tsung were also considered to be fan favorite adaptations in the films, so much so that in the 2019 Mortal Kombat 11 video game, both actors reprised their roles for the video game depictions. When the film was released, it was received well by audiences of the time and for decades was considered to be the best video game adaptation to feature film ever made. Most critics considered such because there wasn't much to adapt, and the improvisations were simple yet effective for the time. The music of the adaptation was also some of the best ever composed, and popular opinion was historically split with everything considered for the movie, with some considering it to be a horrible adaptation that wasn't faithful to the source material, and others considering it to be a brilliant improvisation of a video game adaptation for 1995. A final aspect of discussion is that while the original film was a massive success financially for the circumstances of the time, sequels, prequels, and related media weren't successful in any way in the decades since it was released. All film adaptations, when compared to the original, didn't earn nearly as much in terms of a financial profit, as well as critic or audience point of views. These financial failures, as well as popular opinions, placed further importance on the original film. And for all of the positive and negative details of the movie, it was truly made to be a relic of the times that it was produced in. Sometimes a character can be forgotten because it wasn't the details for them being forgotten, but the circumstances they were created during.